The church in its more recent history has been looked at as a harsh judge, as an institution and as people who judge the world very harshly. And in a lot of ways, that's an unfair characterization of the church because we try to proclaim God's plan of salvation for everyone and how that includes our own moral lives, our lives of virtue, and refraining from sin. Yet, there are still members of the church who have kind of made this characterization sort of true, including myself, including many of us here, that we look at others who are sinful or living in lives of sin and we can judge them very harshly. We can speak about just how bad their lives are. And in all honesty, it's difficult not to do that sort of thing, especially when we're trying to live a moral life and we can see that others are not doing a good job of that. Yet, Jesus and St. Paul to the Romans today reproach this judgmental way of thinking. Jesus reproaches the Pharisees and the scribes, telling them how they focus so much on the letter of the law, how they tied up these heavy burdens for people to follow, yet they don't even do the same themselves. So we don't want to be too judgmental, but how is that possible in a world where there seems to be such a separation from those trying to live in the light of God and those who are not? Well, Jesus offers us a word and I think a key for us to not be too judgmental, yet to recognize the reality of sin in the world. He says to the Pharisees and scribes, he says that you have forgotten, he said, the justice and the love for God. They have looked so finely at the details of the law, but they have forgotten the love for God. That all of the law is based around love for God. And that if we love God, if we have love for God, then we want to love what He loves. And what does God love? He loves each and every one of us with a great love, but especially His heart is for the poor and for sinners, the worst of sinners. And what He desires most of all is for the conversion of sinners. And so if we love God, we want to love what He loves, then we don't look at people who are down and out, who are sinful, as forsaken, but rather we look at them with eyes of love and say, this is who God loves the most. This is who God loves the most and desires the most to be saved. And that totally changes our outlook. It makes us want to do something to help these people. It makes us want to see their conversion as well. And so, Lord, today we ask for a greater spirit of your love that dwells in our hearts, to change our judgmental hearts to hearts on fire for your love. That we might not simply brush aside the sins of the world, but rather look at them with your eyes and desire what you desire, the conversion of sinners, and that we might love each and every person just as you do.